Hello everyone and welcome to another video on JavaScript programming. Kaushal this side from SimpliCode, and today I will run you through if-else conditional statements in JavaScript. So in the previous videos when we discussed about operators in JavaScript, so if you guys remember, I told you that we'll go through the programming concept of logical operators in if-else statement, right? So today we'll discuss the programming concept as well. But before we begin, kindly subscribe to the channel to help us grow. So without any further delay, let's get started. So the if-else conditional statement is used whenever we work with condition. It can be either a single condition or maybe more than one condition or multiple conditions we can work with. So let's try to write a basic program with a single condition. So then we'll move on to multiple conditions using the Elsif statement. So we'll create a new file today. So I hope you guys know the importance of creating a separate file for every topic. It will be easy for you to work to find out that separate file later if you want to revise that topic. So here is the program where we have taken a variable x and the value of x is 10. So what we are doing in this program is we are checking if the value the variable x is holding, that is the value 10, and if the value is less than 10 or if the value is greater than 10. So we have only two conditions. Either the value can be less than 10 or the value can be greater than 10 or equals to 10 as well. So here in this program, what we'll do, we'll update this value as 8. So the variable x is holding the value 8. So to check the output, let's save it, and here you can see it says the value of x is less than 10. Of course, the value 8 is always less than 10, right? So for 8, that's fine, it will say the value is less than 10. And similarly, if we do the same for, let's say, 11, save it now and see, it says the value of x is greater than 10. So that's quite simple, right? But what if we are giving the value as 10? We know 10 is equals to 10. So save it now and see, here you can see it says the value of x is greater than 10. This is happening because what we did, as we told the interpreter to check the value if the value of x is less than 10. We didn't mention that what to do if the value is equals to 10. So it will check for only x is less than 10, not for equals to 10 or greater than 10. So here what it is doing, it is checking if the value is less than 10. So that it says, okay, let's print this statement if the value is less than 10. Or if the value is not less than 10, or if the value is equals to or greater than 10, it will print the value of x is greater than 10. To avoid this type of misunderstanding, we use an Elsif statement. So the concept of Elsif statement is the same as if statement. What we are doing, we are using multiple conditions, right? We are giving it more than one condition. So how to use Elsif? It's quite easy, and the syntax is also similar to the if statement. The only difference is that it contains an else before if. So it's an else if. So what we are doing is we are giving it a condition that else if x equals to 10. So now what it will do, it will check for two conditions, that if the value x is holding is less than 10 or equals to 10. And what we'll do, we'll update it as. So let's check the output now. Save and see, here it says the value of x is equals to 10, right? So I hope you guys are getting this. The execution flow for this program will be like, it will check for the first condition if x is less than 10. If yes, it will print the value of x is less than 10. If no, it will move on to the following condition. Like under the else if statement, it finds a condition that if x is equals to 10, it will check for it. If yes, if x is equals to 10, then it will print the value of x is equals to 10. Or if not, then otherwise it will move to else statement and print the value of x is greater than 10. We don't need to specify any particular condition for this, because we have already specified the two conditions, that if x is less than 10 or if x is equals to 10. Now we'll take a look at some basic programs. Other than this one, we'll take a look at a few more basic programs. So here's the another program. What we are doing here is we are taking a variable x and the value of x is 5. So what we are doing is we are checking if the number is an even number or an odd number. The thing you have to keep in mind is the logic to find whether a number is even or an odd number. So to check whether a number is even, what we do, we'll divide that number with 2, right? What basically we want is we want the remainder as 0 when we use the modulus operator. So what we'll do, here we have written x mod 2 equals to 0. So if the remainder is 0, then the number will be an even number because it is divisible by 2. Else it will be an odd number. So that's quite simple, right? Let's save it and check the output. For 5 it says odd number. Yeah, 5 is of course an odd number, right? So that's for even and odd number. So here we are with another program. Here it says we have a variable y and the value of y is, let's say, 8. And what we are doing here is we are checking if a number is positive or negative or 0. So we have 3 different conditions. Either number can be positive or it can be a negative number. Any number greater than 0 is a positive number, right? And any number less than 0 is a negative number. And the third one is a number 0. It's neither positive nor negative. So let's check for the number 8, save it and see. Here you can see it is a positive number. Let's see for -2. Save it now. It says a negative number. For 0 it will say 0. So these two programs are quite simple, guys, right? The conditions are pretty simple. We use modulus operator, we used greater than or less than sign, and that's quite easy to use, right? So let's move on to the next program, which is a bit tricky than these two. So what we'll do in our next program is we'll check if a number is positive or negative, and at the same time we'll check for even and odd also. If we are giving any number as input, like let's suppose we are using 5, we'll check if the number is positive or negative and odd or even. So we'll do this simultaneously. Let's move on to this program. So there are two ways to check whether a number is positive or negative and odd or even. So the two methods, we'll discuss them one by one. The first one here is to use nested if, and the another one is when we use logical operators along with the if Elsif statement. So this one here you can see right in front of your screen is the nested if method. So here you can see we have used the if statement. We have given one more condition inside another if statement. So first it will check whether a number is positive or not. For x greater than 0, it will check if the number x is greater than 0. Then if yes, if it will find it that yes, this number is greater than 0, then it will move on to the nested if and it will check for odd or even. For odd number and even number, it will check if it finds that the number is even, it will print that the number is positive and even. If the number is not even, it will print the number is positive and odd. So here you can see the difference. What the interpreter is doing is it will check for the number as positive, and if the number is positive, then it will move on to the nested if and check for the even or odd. So if it finds that the number is even, it will print positive and even, otherwise it will print positive and odd. Then it will move on to the next condition, which is for negative number. If x is less than 0, then it will again move to the nested if and it will check for even and odd. So if it finds that the number is even, it will print negative and even, otherwise it will print negative and odd. And the last condition is for the number 0. Let's try to find out the output of this, and what we'll do, we'll update the value of x as 8. So save it now. Here it says the positive and even. So 8 is a positive number and even as well. Let's update the value of x as -5. Save it now. It says negative and odd number. -5 is a negative odd number, right? So that's how it will check for positive or negative and odd or even. So we are doing both the things simultaneously in a program. We have an alternate method as well. Here you can see on your screen we have written a program, and here we have taken a variable x. The functioning of both the programs is same. Both of these programs will check for positive or negative and odd or even. So here you can see I have taken a variable x. Let's say the value of x is 7. it will check for x greater than 0 and x mod 2 is equals to 0. So we have four different conditions, right? A number is greater than 0, that means a number is positive and even, a number is positive and odd, a number is negative and even, a number is negative and odd, and the final one is a number is 0. Okay, we have 5 conditions and we have to specify these 4 conditions here. So here you can see we are using the logical AND operator. This means it will print this statement. Let's suppose for this statement, it will print this only if both the conditions are true, right? If the value x is holding is both greater than 0 and an even number. So if you try to find out the output now, save it and see, here it says number is positive and odd. So the number 7 is greater than 0, but the number 7 is not an even number. That's why this line is not there on the browser. It will print this line because the number is positive and odd, right? With this, we are done with the video, guys. See you in the next one, where we'll go through the switch case conditional statement. That's another type of conditional statements present in JavaScript. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Comment your doubts below. Please share it with your friends and subscribe to SimpliCode to never miss an update. Thank you.